Guys, and Wednesday night with those guys are sponsored by
Those guys.
Yes. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is Wednesday night with those guys. And as you know, it is sponsored by those guys. And this is where we talk about everything in the drone world and we promote the usage of drones. And everyone who is listening right now, I know the weather has got to have been good where you are because it's been great here. And I guess along the whole Northeast. So the weather has been, if the weather's been good where you are, please let me know how the weather is where you are and if you've been able to get out and fly your drones. How are you doing on this great Wednesday with the beautiful weather out there? Great flying weather. How are you doing, Lawrence?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We're we're enjoying the drone work and we're enjoying working together as a team. Okay. Yellow Rose and his wife
Okay.
are having a good time. He
Okay.
says
All
his
right. All
wife,
right.
this drone work is 8, 9 hours a day in the heat. So
Ooh.
she needs some suitable. Okay. He's introducing her to drone work.
Oh,
But we're doing good. We're doing good.
you know
I'm
what's
doing
funny?
good.
I saw a hat you might like. I gotta find it again and pass that
Hey,
on to you,
Johnny.
Yellow Rose.
What's up, D?
You ever see the big fishing hats, Lawrence? But it's got the
Yeah.
big brim, right? Like the ones like you may see like on coaches might rock those, and it's got two fans in it.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Fans?
yeah, and it's
Wow.
two fans in it, and it just blows the air down.
I was gonna say I have a fishing hat, but my shit don't have fans in
Well,
it.
the brim is bigger than the fishing hat. It's a little bigger.
Okay. Okay.
It shades you a lot.
Mine comes
Gives
out
you
to
a
about
good
this
it gives you a
far.
good amount of shade.
All right.
And it's got two fans in it.
That's one of them safari ones then.
Yeah, yeah. So we got
Okay.
a
What's
couple
up,
of people
Draymond?
here. We got a couple of people in the chat tonight.
Yeah, it's early. People are coming in early. I know they
we
want
had a
to.
few things we wanted to talk about tonight. Just a few things. I know you guys saw the thumbnail. You know, that's right. We're gonna put
Can I
uh
put a
this
disclaimer out now?
what happened?
Can I put a disclaimer out now?
A disclaimer. Oh no, well, I'm gonna say this.
Denise said she saw that hat on Temu.
Who?
Denise said she saw that hat on Temu. The
Oh,
hat with the fans.
it may have been, but I did see. Where did I see it? I saw it on Instagram. I think it was on Instagram or Facebook, one of the two.
Okay. All
And
right. All right.
and you know what? I know a lot of times guys look at that stuff on Instagram and say, you know what? This looks like some shady shit. I'm not ordering this. And I thought the same thing too. But there was one thing that they had on there that was kind of that appealed to me. And
Yeah. Hey, Bill.
I purchased it. It took almost forever to get here. And I got it. And
Warren.
it was actually what I thought it was. It wasn't what they advertised it as,
Okay. Okay.
you know. And I'm good with it. A lot of people like it. They ask me where I got it from, but I haven't seen the advertisement in a little while.
All right. Okay. Well, how's
But yeah.
everybody out there? Let me give a quick shout out. Bill's here. Ronnie, God bless America. Draymond,
Oh,
Warren, Akarasho, Lee, Yellow Rose Drone,
Rushu.
Deneen from New
Hey,
York here,
D.
Captured the Magic, Johnny Drone Flyer.
Hey.
I had saw SJM Drones here,
Yeah, he
Stephen,
was here
Flyby
earlier.
Guys. Yes, SJM Drones and Stephen, the Flyby Guys. Stephen's probably
Steven.
listening in the cut. So what's up, everybody? Hope you got a chance to fly this nice weather, like Herman said, up and down the East Coast. I don't
Yeah.
know about any place else, but it's
Well,
been.
I
I have
mean,
shorts on today.
I'm one of those people that's like this when it comes to East Coast weather. If we got good weather, you got to have got good weather.
Eldon, what's up? Takeoff is here
Especially up here
also.
in the Northeast. If we got good weather, you've got to have good weather.
That's true.
You know,
That is true. And do we have any news about this barbecue as of yet that we're supposed to
news
be
about the
having?
barbecue.
Yeah,
No, not yet. I got. Well, you know what?
we got to start with talking about it.
Give me next week, and I'll find out on what we could swing.
We need to have
Because you're
a
talking about
weekly
this, you're
meeting.
talking about September.
Where is it raining, Barkley? Sorry to hear that.
Raining where? Oh, I'm sorry. If the dark cloud has finally caught up to you, huh, Barkley?
He's been dodging that dark cloud. You can do that when you travel a lot. You're like, look, the weather looks like it's turning bad. I'm going to go to Florida. Then you get down to Florida, hurricanes are coming. You know what? I think I might shoot over to the West Coast. You know? So
Barkley.
yeah, perhaps you better come inside then, Bill says. But anyway, I'm doing good. What's up with you? Oh, 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 we got, well, I don't know if we can say anything. Are we under an NDA for the video we shot yesterday?
Well, you mentioned it last week.
Yeah, but that was before it started. Now it started.
Well, you can't tell them what you were doing, but I mean,
Yeah,
you
okay.
mentioned that you were doing. I mean, we started shooting on the on the stuff for the
Or docu-series.
yeah, for the docuseries.
Yes, yes, yes. Hey, John, how are you? Yeah, so we mentioned it a couple of weeks back that we were going to start doing it. I just wanted to say congratulations to you and those guys, Ariel and
They just wanted footage of the school
yeah. But
building.
hopefully the documentary makes it to Netflix and we'll have our names in the credits somewhere. Maybe tiny, but they'll be in the credits. You know, after the key grip guy somewhere, the key grip guy number 14. You may see those guys, Ariel, Herman Green, Lawrence Clark, in the caption somewhere. Right? You know, then I got to stop and screenshot
I
it,
gotta
right?
be above a key grip guy.
I would like to hope so. But you're with the cameraman at least. You should be somewhere in that area. But anyway, getting back to what we were doing, what we were about to talk about. Um,
Yeah.
it's Wednesday,
Well,
hump day.
well, there's a few things we wanted to talk about tonight. And like I was saying to you, and there's been a whole lot of leaks and stuff, and I don't know what the hell you would call them. Was it really rumors? I don't know, but they've been out there. And what else? We're gonna talk about that.
What, the Air 3S?
No, the that whole thing that everybody's been going crazy over. But it's funny how everybody's been going crazy over it because I told you guys it was coming.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
you know, but but we're gonna put Miss Stefanik on blast tonight, her bill and what it's gonna do, what it proposes,
I promise not to call her anything outside of her name, even though I was tempted to.
No, we're not gonna be disrespectful. We're just gonna talk to fact. And if we go back and watch some of the earlier,
Yeah,
if you go back and watch some of the earlier shows when I mentioned that I was honest about a lot of the things that was brought to fact or what they claim is fact about um the Chinese made drones and why. And I was truthful about it. And I dare anyone to debate me on that.
yeah, this is true. This is true, but there have been telltale signs that all of this was coming. Hey, Waypoint and Herman and I, how long we've been doing these live streams? Going on 4 years now?
No, it's more than 4 years.
It's more. I was trying to be modest about it,
It's
but
4 years. It's gonna be more
yeah.
than 4 years. But we everybody's got their ear tuned, I see now, to Twitter. And it's funny
Uh-huh.
because I first got into Twitter, right? Because of sneakers. because Nike, right? When Nike would release sneakers, they would have like stuff come out on the Twitter, information on Twitter, and they still do.
Right.
And they release pretty much the date that stuff is going to be launched.
Right.
And back then you had to get in, and there's a whole bunch of stuff to be able to get the shoes, to be able to be there at Nike Town to get the shoes on at that date. But it was a whole lot of nonsense. But now it's a lot better. But that's the whole Twitter thing now. Everybody is tuned into Twitter because they got their ear ready for that bell whenever one of the guys from DJI's
I'm
promotion.
sorry, Warren corrects you. It's no longer Twitter, it's X.
They won't leave Twitter without the X. If you look at anything that they have, they're not leaving that little bird. They might put that X on there, but when you go in there, everything's still there.
It still says Twitter, right? He hasn't
Yeah,
tried
they
to
ain't
change
leaving
the
that because they know
logo.
because they know who they are. He can put his foot on it because he can, but it's still Twitter. But anyhow, yeah, everybody's tuned into DJI's marketing and promotional team, but these guys seem to come up with almost everything now. They're into everything. They cover cameras, everything, the phones, the
Right.
latest smartwatch. So, and I'm quite sure everybody saw this one earlier because Igor Bogdanov, the guy from over at Quadro News, you don't remember him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of leaked some stuff here about an Insta 360. What's the best Insta 360?
Yeah.
3S on a question. Now,
Yeah.
we all saw that, right? So I guess
This is yeah.
that camera, right? And we saw the quote. What was, I mean, this is what, a new camera coming out.
Well,
I'm not familiar at all with these Insta 360 cameras.
I'm familiar with not with this particular model, but the Insta 360 Go series. This little peanut shaped
Yeah,
camera,
yeah.
they've incorporated it in
Pops out.
it pops out to an individual camera itself. And I believe with this device here, you should be able to do some 360 footage.
So basically, this is the third edition of this thing supposed to come out.
Yes, yeah.
Uh,
They've they've made it interchangeable so you could pop this camera out and mount it on an FPV bird, or you could leave it inside this little.
or
If you
anything.
notice, it's the shape of a GoPro. It's their version of
Uh,
that. That's all. Like I said, I haven't used this and I'm not familiar with this particular one, but I have played around with the very first versions of this, which was just the peanut version here.
uh-huh. Okay.
I could find out some information about it and get back to you on it by next week. I just have to make a note of it to myself because nowadays, if I don't put it in a book and write it down, it's gone.
Right. Okay.
I guess that's a good thing. That means I'm busy, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Got an hour ride back to the shop.
Uh-oh.
Can't chat much. Just be careful, no chatting and
Okay.
on texting and driving.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right, Warren, enjoy dinner.
Okay.
But anyway,
dinner. He's not
welcome.
hanging up to talk about my boxes.
No. Oh, Warren's, yeah, he went to go get dinner. He'll be back. And it's almost poop time for the dog, too.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of a ritual. He's like, I gotta go walk the dog.
You know what's crazy
So,
about
what's
that?
up, man? How are you?
You
You
know what's
gotta meet
crazy about
Angel,
that?
Herman. Huh?
Huh?
You gotta meet Angel. We hung out over by
No,
Queens.
but you know what's crazy about that? You might be able to raise his dog if he couldn't. You know what time he goes out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you need a dog sitter, dog doesn't mind flying in a crate to New York. I'll watch him. I already know what time the dog goes to take a poop. I'll be lurking driving back to Jersey. That's all right, man. We appreciate you stopping in and saying what's up. Just don't no texting and driving. We'd rather you sit there and listen to the live stream. And of course, if you do miss any part of it,
Mhm.
is always the replay,
Okay.
which is good, Herman, because with all of the replays we have of the live streams we've done,
Replay.
we could
Replay.
literally go back through time and to points when you said certain things and I've said certain things. And I'm not saying we're the great Karnaks of
Hey.
drone community.
Gary.
Hey, Gary, you know who the great Karnak was, right?
Uh-huh.
We're not the great Karnaks of the drone world, but I did say I would not buy something on OcuSync 4 until it came out. They came out with the 3S. But we'll talk
Hey.
about that a little later. All I
Anyway.
kept saying was Air 3S. Air 3S.
What's up, Gary? I see
I'm
you in there.
stoked. I'm stoked.
I see you in there, Gary. Don't worry about it. Don't
I'm
worry about
here
it.
now.
But
Like
you know what?
14th.
I
What
s-
happened?
I see DJI still has that sale going at 10% off.
Yes.
Yeah, that they get up.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's that 10% sale is
And
still
you
so
know what that is?
yeah, you guys can still take advantage of that deal. Yeah, there it is. Just jump on that. Remember, I told you all about that before. And it's there as soon as you go on the DJI online store, so I know
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows about it. So don't forget, don't miss that one.
You want the Mini 4 Pro? Yeah. It's, which comes, FYI, they're giving away free stuff, free water bottles and or t-shirts.
Mhm.
Um, it had a Mavic 3 Pro 2100 right here. You know what's funny, Herman? See the
What?
camera on this Mavic 3 Pro right here?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
The Air 2S got
Oh,
the
would
Air
you put
3,
that thing away and stop it?
the Air 3S. Okay. All right. I'm stoked, man. I'm really stoked about it because we may need to try and contact some influencers and see what they're flying these days. Because supposedly it's supposed to launch in September. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in detail. Back to the sale.
Okay. I just wanted to mention this thing. I don't know. And then you
Okay.
keep tying it in the other things. I don't know.
Subliminal messaging.
Well, over the weekend, right? We
Yeah,
all, like I said, everybody's got their ear to Twitter. They're waiting for that bell to ping, see the little birdie come up, you know, and see what one of the guys from DJI marketing and promotion teams put out. And or if they're tuned into DJI Enterprise,
right.
that's on Twitter too. And so is there's a couple other DJI support and then there's some other few other leaks and stuff that other guys that and other DJI products that's on the Twitter. Everybody wants to use the name.
Right.
But anyway, over the weekend, there was a what is they still calling it a tweet or is it an X?
Is it a twit or
But
is it a
anyway,
stamp?
your man, Mr. Igor Bolganov, we know him as that from Quadro News. What was
Mm-hmm.
it? On the 18th, dropped these here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. He dropped these, right? And he said that something interesting is coming up. And it says hashtag DJI, hashtag A4. Now,
Uh-huh.
I don't know that what that meant. I mean, I don't know what that meant, but maybe he was trying to hint to something. But then
Right.
what was it yesterday or was it yesterday I think it was. The DJI.com dropped a photo that kind of supported or shows a
This
picture
one right here.
of the what we believe is Air 3S.
We believe it. Now, since I've got this translator in my
But
phone,
that you're still showing the batteries there.
I'm still showing the batteries. Okay, I have to stop and then start sharing again. I didn't realize that. I went to another window and it doesn't carry over. Here we go. Here we
Well,
go.
that
There
was
it
of the launch. That wasn't of the one with the picture of the drone itself.
Oh, you're talking about this one right here.
Yeah,
Hold on.
because the way
We
I
do
saw
have it.
the way
Uh,
I saw the tweets come out, and we're still calling them tweets. The way I saw them come out,
this one.
yeah, they came out with these pictures first. And they had this little funny thingy here over the little thing. But you can
Over
look,
the 3S.
yeah, you could see that it was the 3S. And they wanted to make sure that you saw that or made or
Uh-huh.
brought eye to that. And if
Uh-huh.
you look, it still has features that same camera, or like same style of camera that you would find
The Mavic
Mavic
3.
3 Pro.
Correct.
And we saw stuff that uh showed that there was what that launch that Lawrence had put up that came out that
Yeah, that's
confirmed
this one right
that
here.
confirmed that there was something coming.
Yeah, that's
You
this
know,
photo right here. And if you look at it, I'm noticing that the month comes second in their format. You have the
mm,
year, the month, and the day.
mm,
And even though I was like, that looks like September, but
right.
and I did go on to translate it. I mean, it's and now that I have this translated on my phone, I'm looking for everything Chinese to try and translate. But it says insights into Ganhua, which I'm
Mhm.
guessing that part of the translation didn't come out straight. It may have just said the word itself, but right here, once again, 2024, 9/25. 2024, the ninth month, the 25th day at 2100 hours.
Mhm.
Um, Something's being released, and it's supposed to be, we're hoping that it's that Air
Right.
3S, correct?
So you're gonna hold off anything else for the whole summer?
Oh no, no, I think they'll slip something in there. I think towards the end of the summer, DJI will slip something in.
Well, I mean, when we saw this, because the pictures didn't stop there. Excuse me. The pictures didn't stop there. They just kept coming and coming and coming because we saw pictures that of the same pictures from what was that guy? What was that SB DJI? That one. It was
Mm-hmm. This
they
one right
just
here.
right. They just kept coming. All those photos of this. Yeah,
What I
So
like is very smart. DJI once again does their fantastic advertising. They're not giving any kind of hint or clue as to what kind of camera are in here. If you notice, these are just covers, glass covers that are
and
covering the hole.
but hold on a second, because if you really want to get into it,
Yeah.
right? Because every one of these guys deals, and every one of those guys jumped on this, even OC to LV. They all jumped on it, and there was posters saying that this is like another slap to the original slap to the
In the face.
to,
Yeah.
to, to the original Mavic 3.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
but both Igor and Deals had both claimed that these were not true. These were not real.
Yeah, yeah. Go figure.
Yeah, they basically claimed that the leaks were not real, as where the other guy claims that the leaks came to him
Mm-hmm.
from a source.
Right.
And from what I understand a lot, and I noticed I also look at the way those things come out when these guys are posting this stuff. A lot of
Yeah.
times he's posting them before those pictures before they are.
True. That's
You
true.
know, and it's a whole game that they run with it. But sometimes by the time we see what we're seeing now, it's already a done deal. But we haven't seen anything, on the legal scale of it yet either, or have heard
Right.
anything yet of it yet either. And
Well, this isn't like, I just wanted to interrupt really quick that this isn't within the norm of DJI to say, so, well, as of lately, it's not the norm for them to say, hey, we've been, Angel says, yes, those are fake pictures, they said. it's not like DJI to say, all right, September, we're coming out with this on this day. I mean, they usually do it within a month from the time they're ready to launch.
Or with the
Yes,
right. That's why I said a lot of that stuff is kind of shaky.
it is, but could they have their feelers out there to see what the demand or what people are saying about there possibly being an Air 3S? I've
Which
been saying I'm not buying another camera drone unless it's an Air 3S.
okay.
Have I not? Or, well, that's not true. I will get another Mavic 3, regardless. I'd get another Mavic 3 because I just love that bird, but because I need a Mavic 3 for recreation. Right now I use mine for work and it's not fun. So I'm forced to go to my Air 2S, which I might be
Okay.
willing to sell now that the Air 3S may be coming out.
Yeah.
And
Here
here
we
we go. Here we go. The drone guy, right? Who's
yeah.
to say it's the Air 3S? It might be a Mavic 4. Angel says, I think the Mavic 4 will come out. Who knows? They could be putting the
uh,
out there.
you think?
It's possible. That's one thing I didn't think about. Well,
You
you
think?
mentioned it, the Mavic 4. There's a possibility that that would drop also within a reasonable time
Well,
before the new year, maybe.
well, don't at the end of the show, right? Near the end of the show, I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you my idea and my reasons for why I say this. And the rest of the stream will show you why I say it.
All right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Fair enough.
But I do think that you're gonna see some things happen. I don't know how much. I thought we were gonna get a lot of fine tuning and stuff like that, which we are seeing a lot of fine tuning.
Yes.
We've seen a whole lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Update after update after update. What are these bugs? What are these bugs? And if you've been looking out and reading, you'll find out now they're releasing what the bugs are.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we didn't even know these bugs were there, huh?
Well, you're so used to everything
Fix the
flying so
bugs.
smoothly.
It
It
fixes some bugs.
well, that's what everyone says now. We fixed some bugs
Yeah.
that had to do with the
You thought
right light blinking
you
a
thought it,
millisecond faster than
but
a
you thought it was working great, right?
mm-hmm.
And they came
Yeah.
out with an update that fixed some bugs.
The Angel says he loves the Air 3. I believe it.
Oh,
I
I'm quite
just
sure you do. Listen, the Air 2S was great and it's still great. And I'm quite sure you do like that Air 3. The Mavic 3 is a great drone. Still, regardless of the fact
yes,
that
it
the
is.
you know what I mean?
Yes, it is still a great drone. Hey, Michael Blades, how are you? Walking around Home Depot listening to those guys. We appreciate you, man.
Oh, okay, thank you.
We appreciate you for listening to us while you're out shopping.
Well,
That's a good thing. When people can go on with their normal lives and
are you
listen
in
to a live stream or a podcast.
are you in a mall or anything like that?
Yeah, right.
So when you get near the Best Buy, I'll start talking about the Mini.
When you get near Best Buy,
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. If you haven't clicked the like button, please feel free to do so. Um, wait a minute.
You
I never oh
what? Who? What?
pictures of that chick.
What shit? Oh,
I say that chick because we'll be talking about that chick tonight.
oh. I mentioned the lady earlier and you didn't.
Yeah, I held my tongue.
Well, she means well.
Live stream software. She means well. Hmm.
She means well.
I'd like to see how much her salary jumps this year from last year. That's all I'm saying.
She means well. I mean, you know how that goes.
Look, check this out. We're gonna put her on blast anyway.
You
But
know
getting
how
back,
it goes. You can't be like that.
huh?
You can't be like that. You know how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. I just said we're gonna put her on blast. I didn't say we were gonna call her out her
She
face or
she
anything, but we're just gonna let people
she
who do
me-
listen to the live stream, and I
she
stress,
means well. She's a patriot to the country. She means well. It's
yes,
just
this is
it's
true.
just that when you are told to say this and nothing but this.
And then after you say that, you have your hand out for a check. Yeah, I get it. I get how it works.
No, I won't. But anyway, so I'm quite sure, like I said, everybody's been checking them out. But somehow, there was a thing mentioned there earlier. I saw this earlier in the week. We just happen to be too close to the middle of the week or the middle of the week, actually, when some of this stuff comes out. But I saw this, I think over the weekend, or was it, yeah, Sunday or Sunday or Monday, one of those days. And it started out as a just that one day, but then it came out and it started it just was stuck on there because it's on DJI, but
What is
the
not
mini
this, not this.
oh no, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I thought that's where I thought we were going, but
Well, if you wanted to mention that, that was one of those things that came out today. One of the
yes.
pictures that came out today were about your Air 3. And
Yep.
I
And care
wasn't
refresh.
yeah, I wasn't too so I'm like, if it's all fake, what's the big deal?
Where is this stuff coming from?
Right. I'll wait for DJI to
Well,
say official.
supposedly this is from the DJI website in China.
Mhm.
Okay, obvious because of letters. And once again, I keep trying to translate shit that I don't speak the language of. And this is what I got. The first one is the DJI Air 3 Fly More combo. The other one is DJI Care Refresh, which has Care Refresh. If you add it, this is the Japanese yen or whatever you call it. This is the Air 3 with some other. Actually, this one's priced more. But anyway, I translated it and it said I don't understand what this is. DJI's official refurbished. Oh, that's what it is. Let me
That's
go back.
something, but
The one on top is the original Air 3, right? That's the original Air 3,
uh-huh,
brand spanking new at 77.48 yen or whatever, with care refresh at 698. The
okay.
second one is a refurbished model
Uh-huh.
because and it's the price is obviously here higher because the translation goes, I don't understand what this is. DJI's official refurbishment machine is more expensive than the new retail machine.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Well,
So,
Captain Ray, what's going on?
hey Ray, how are you, man? Hope all is well. So I thought it was interesting. Maybe I don't know what their source is. I cannot confirm, but maybe DJI is getting ready for those tariff hikes already.
Well, you know what? I got a lot to talk about that tonight. But
Yeah, I know, I know.
hey, AJ,
Angie,
what's going on, Captain Ray? How you doing, man? What I wanted to mention now was that I'm quite sure everybody's seen it, but like I said, it started out as a one-day thing, and it seemed to keep on going because at one point they were out of stock, and then they got more back in. I don't know how, but the Mini 3 with the RC controller, uh,
yeah,
is supposedly the best budget drone for under 550 because it's like I said, it started out as a one-day thing on it was on Amazon or one of those on Amazon and B&H
right
here in
here. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
pulling it up now on Amazon.
And
What
there
was
was
the price you had?
540
Five 549. Yeah, right here.
549. It's on the DJI website for 549
And Amazon.
and on Amazon and at B&H. And
Yes,
supposedly
yes.
some deal where that they had where if 20% $20 more would and I haven't seen this, but I'm supposedly $20 more we get you. It was on the special was a landing pad and a carrying case for this thing. So that,
Interesting. Instead
yeah,
of the MERS that they send it with.
I don't know. I guess I don't
Well,
know
it
how.
comes out of the
I guess
box
that
like
was
the
a
MERS.
B&H thing.
Yeah,
A lot of
that's a
times
possibility.
B&H tries to turn over their stock. They get a lot of stuff in there, and they try to get rid of it on one of those absolutely must go stuff sales. But yeah, like I said, when I have
We passed our sponsor time, and I
see,
had the alarm set at 2 minutes to, and we just went past. We went past anyway.
okay. Well, anyhow, flash it. Let's go.
Oh
There we
man,
go.
those guys,
Wednesday,
right?
Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by those
Those guys.
guys.
Okay. Salute.
So anyway, yeah. So yeah, check that out on Amazon or whatever. We went up.
Yeah, 549 is not bad.
Don't. Yeah, 549 is not bad.
Extra $20, you get a carrying case and a
Yeah,
landing
can't
pad.
beat that. Can't beat that. Can't beat that.
Hey, Bill, how are you? Coast to coast.
Bill. Now, there was a big update that came out there for the DJI, the Android. Yeah, for for the Android users on the DJI platform.
Right.
Yeah, that software was a big update. Yeah, for the Android mobile software
Mm-hmm.
for the development kit for DJI.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have I guess if anybody has done these updates or whatever, this update, what happens here is it's version 5.9.0.
Okay.
Supposedly, well, this update comes to a whole bunch of different things here because it's dealing with a lot of different drones, and I'm gonna mention that in a minute.
Right.
But this update has to do with functionality and usability. So it covers your what's the word, the terminology that they like? User
What?
friendliness of it
Hey, Kiko the monkey. Really?
and how it actually functions.
Really?
Now, what is this now? Kiko the monkey.
Kiko the monkey, that took pictures with everyone. I want to see, I'm waiting to see that montage from South Florida Drone Meetup.
That's funny. The I like that. Kiko the monkey. You know what? I still say the best name that I've ever heard here, and I haven't seen him in a minute. I still have his stickers. Eat more possum. And
That's
and
wrong in so many ways, but it is a great name.
yeah, and it's funny because you said you can call a lot of things possum.
Yeah, you could. You call a lot of things possum. A few of them walk on two legs.
But anyhow, yeah, I was saying like to a couple of the drones that this thing in here is hitting is the Matrice 300 and the 350 RTK.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the what is it? The Matrice 30 series.
Mm-hmm.
What are you sleeping over there? And the Mavic
Well, sorry.
and the Mavic 3 and the Mavic 3 series. Um so we get back into talking about it hits a few numbers of fixes a few bugs, and also with the Mini 3 and the 3 Pro. Yeah. So this firmware it covers a few things. You know,
That's interesting. You know why?
yeah.
Because I've been flying with the RC and the RC Pro for a
Mhm.
minute now.
Mhm.
And I still have the old R2N2 controllers, and
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
have I need to pull one out. Eat more
Mhm.
parsley. Nobody eats parsley. No,
Right.
possum. Eat more
Awesome.
possum, Gary. But that I might want to pull out my radio and an old cell phone and
Mm.
see what they've done to the app. But then again,
Okay.
I've become spoiled and I've gotten used to that screen with everything attached.
Well, you
Like,
could do I guess you would have to do the updates. You still have to do the updates.
right, which would be in the Android app that I would have to download,
Well, right.
re-download.
Well, let me finish telling you about this because, like I said, it also will fix a few bugs on the Mini 3 and the Mini 3 Pro. Makes for more smoother flying of the drone, smoother and for
Hey, Dan.
the more reliable operation of the drone. So the functionality, remember how sometimes when you're flying, and I don't know if me personally, because from flying Phantoms and then going into the Mavic 3 and flying the big what they would call the bigger
Mm-hmm.
drones. In
Hey,
the
Scott.
controls, I find that they're a little bit more responsive than the Mini was.
Really?
Yes. And
Okay.
anybody that flew both of them would say that because you would see, even though they fly well,
I'm
and
trying to
everybody
think.
always talks about how well the Air 2S responds,
Yeah,
Air
yeah.
3, how it responds on the
Mm-hmm.
controller.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get what you're talking about.
So now they're enhancing these things with the Mini 3 and the Mini 3 Pro. So
It's trickling down. All that technology.
that's what I said to you. So I remember we talking before about how this year we're going to see a lot of tweaking and fine tuning of stuff. So yeah, these enhanced, but this is with the whole MSDK market with this layout of this whole firmware update or whatever it is update
Right, right.
on the Android, only on the Android version. So
And you
it
know
happened,
what? I have a tablet that I won at the South Florida Drone
and
Meetup that I
but
could test it out on.
but see, isn't the smart controller and
RC,
the all RC and the RC Pro, all of those all on Android platform?
they are, but it's a different version, I'm pretty sure.
They're still
They're still Android.
Android platforms.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
I'm curious to see how these work because once again, the Matrice series they function on their own controller as well, right? Which is an Android platform. No, the
Yeah,
Matrice 300, the 350, the 30, they were all on an Android. The the Enterprise edition of the Mavic 3, they were all on Android platforms of the controller, right?
true.
So
Yeah, yeah, they are.
wouldn't that would and if they're talking about the Mini, for those guys that ran out and bought the RC Pro to fly a Mini,
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite sure that would be the same thing, wouldn't it? You know,
What happened?
no, I'm just saying.
Okay, all
There's
right.
a, there's
Well,
a lot there's a lot going on with this update. You excuse me. You're talking about support for what the ZEMU's the H30, that camera that just recently come out, right? For the 300 and 350.
right.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that's packed into this. The Matrice 30 and what is it, the Mavic 3 Enterprise series, Waypoint, um, Breakpoint.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I was a little confused about that because I thought that a couple of these features almost was the same, where returning to the same spot where you broke
I
from,
thought it was too,
and
but apparently it's not.
yeah,
It's not. Seriously.
yeah, yeah, Listen,
When you
I'm willing to admit when I learned something, but
right.
yeah, like I said, the break point. So like now it remembers like the point where you broke from, and you can go right back to that
Mm-hmm.
with yeah,
That's crucial. And you know what, Herman?
right.
Remember, we had an issue with the Mavic 3 and we were trying to set up some waypoint hyperlapse. And we set up the original one, you remember, right? And it went flawless. We came back down and went back up and tried to emulate it, and how it was off by 20 to 30, well, by 10 to 20 feet.
And I'm gonna still account that to the
The
geo zone.
cell phone, the geo zone,
The
and
geo zone.
and the cell phone tower right there
Nah,
blasting. No,
I don't think that cell phone tower was the issue. I think it was the geo zone the whole time.
really, from the prison.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, we still have to try that again elsewhere. We haven't done it elsewhere. But I have noticed,
Mhm.
but and here's a point I wanted to make about the Air 2S. A lot of people that have the Air 2S, don't sleep on it. It has a better waypoint hyperlapse than the Mavic 3. And what I mean by
No, it
that is
don't. No, it don't.
it's
No,
a
it
lot
don't.
more accurate when it comes to flying back to location than the
No, it
Mavic
don't.
3. Yes.
No, it don't.
Yes.
No,
I
it don't.
proved it already. I
Nah,
have two.
man.
I
Nah,
shot
son.
3 videos, two of them on one day, 2 videos on one day, and I went back to another day and shot it with the same waypoint, and it was the same height and everything. It's amazing how much money, more money you have without investing. Instead of spending 3,000 on a drone, I spent 3,000 on a jet ski. Listen, that's the way to do it.
Okay. Knock yourself out. Have some fun, man. You know, this guy's living the friggin' life.
I know, right? Warm weather most of the year, jet skis, motorcycles, got a chick to ride on back with him. He's eating healthy food. What's this world coming to? And he's even getting nicer. I guess that's called domestication, huh?
I don't even know him anymore.
I know. He
My
walks up,
God.
he walks up and says, "Gentlemen," and you don't know. I'm happy for you, Dan, because you're a lot happier. That's all I can say, honestly.
Mm-mm-mm. How they say it? It ain't music that tames the savage beast.
See, Angel says the Air 3 is amazing for that too. It's always accurate. And I think with the now this has been only been my experience, our experience with the Mavic 3. What was
I
you had,
think them and you know what? I
and
want
they
to
may have fixed that. Remember the fixes? But we haven't
right,
tried it yet to find out if they
right,
did.
but not once again, like I said, that was because of where we were using it at the point in time. If we use it somewhere else, I'll let you know what I think of it.
Okay,
I
yes. See,
was
that's often our problem.
but I was terrified to use it in that area because I didn't know if it would send it across the street or
Yeah, that's true. Dan says, "What more do you want from me, guy? What more do you guys want from me?" I said, "Get married. I'll stop flying drones."
oh hell no. You can't stop flying drones because the man got married.
Yeah, I know. But he's I'm just messing back. But anyway, welcome to Wednesday night with those guys. It's
Yeah, but
hump day Wednesday. Well, I know you guys want to hear us talk about that chick.
well, why
And
you
I
keep
promise I'll
referring? So you being really disrespectful to the lady, and she like I told you, she means well. She means well. She means well.
listen. The lady's saying, if you want to fly DJI, you got to pay me.
Well, not pay her, but
Oh, well, she got
anyway,
her check already for saying that. So me means the country.
you you know what? I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna get into it because you keep pointing to it, and you're not gonna stop till I speak on it. So I'm gonna speak on
No,
it
yeah, no,
because
we have a schedule here. We have a schedule. We have a timeline.
well,
We can
no,
stick with it.
No, I mean that's where we are at this point in time, right? So,
Yeah.
well, what I will say is that, you know, back on March 27th, on Wednesday night with those guys, Wednesday night with those guys, 2:45.
Right,
I had mentioned that lawmakers were urging President Biden to increase tariffs on the Chinese made drones.
right. And it's funny you say that because we just happen to have that clip right here.
I just, you know,
Here we go. Hold on.
oh, I can't even hear it. They're looking for tougher tariffs on the United States, on Chinese made drones, not just DJI. And as we all know about all of the things that they've done amongst them, their own employees, said, well, don't think to stop them from using or purchasing any Chinese made drones with was that low funds that come from government funding.
I stopped it right there. Go ahead.
All right. But yeah, um, so this whole thing, you know, I started to notice that a few guys were trying to bring it to my attention this week. This drones for first responders, as if it was something new. You know, I was a little confused. I was a little confused about it because not only did I mention it there, but I mentioned it about a month ago when I had Randall Warners on the stream.
Hey, Clifford, go
When
ahead.
on the stream when he was here, I mentioned to you everything that was going on with the bill.
Right.
And a lot of guys, like I said, a few guys brought it to my attention, like something new. And I was like, I've been covering it for a little over a month or so. So I don't know, no big deal, but we'll go into it because I'm gonna get into it because Miss Congresswoman, Miss Stefanik, you can put her up, put a picture
Oh,
up,
yeah. Trust me. As you
you know,
speak, I'm on
you
it.
know, you can put a picture up so everybody knows who she is.
Yeah.
You put up with the nice red,
She's
white,
a
and blue
politician
back.
here in New York.
Right. She was one of this. We all know how much this bill went, from it was nonstop because they're not going to stop. They went from one to the other. It changed names. It went from one bill to another, and they went from trying to ban Chinese drones to
Mm-hmm.
changing their direction. And back, like I said, on April 24th, on Wednesday night with those guys, 249. I mentioned to you when we had Randall on the stream, the CEO for Enzo Robotics. I mentioned to you about the layout of what this whole thing was going to be about. And now, like I said, it's here back again in the news. And I just wanted to let you guys know. I can see because a lot of guys come on these live streams and they talk about, I don't want to talk about politics and stuff like that. And then they want to bring up stuff like this. It's all about politics. And if you want to just run and scurry into your
Mm-hmm.
foxhole and run and hide and wait to see what the fallout is and do whatever is happening, then you can do that.
Agreed.
But you can keep your ear in tune to and get involved in what's happening, like everybody does, whenever is something to sign, let your Congress people know. But it seems as if they're doing what they want to do, and no matter what we say, and it's evolving and it keeps evolving because now it's gone into this Drones for First Responders Act. And like I said, I mentioned to you this thing about a month ago. So,
Right.
and a lot of things is packed into this Drone for First Responders Act. And I don't think that for the first and foremost, I don't think that with the direction that they're going is not a direction that almost anybody would take in the situation that they're in.
Right.
Um, it's ugly. It looks ugly. It's bad. But as an American citizen, you should be used to this shit by now. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. This is
So
true.
I want to get involved in the conflict over there. So listen, you got to pay for it. I'm quite sure that we've gotten used to it. And I know
Ray Kelly, I agree with you. What Ray Kelly's saying, simple. First responders need to use the best drones. Right now, they are using the best drones. I agree with you. But for our country's security and safety, this is why companies like Contigo and Anzu Robotics were created. Right
well,
now,
well, before we jump the gun on that, you know, I feel what Ray is saying, and I get it, you know, but as a nation, when they start talking about the whole cybersecurity and stuff like this, you know, I'll tell you this. As far as this, like I said, the Drones for First Responders Act,
yes.
and it deals to it seeks to enhance national security and support what happened
Go ahead. Go ahead. I
and,
want
su- and support domestic drone manufacturing.
Okay, I want to raise my hand and say something about this particular story right here. And I even made a mental note of it because this goes to show how much they're lying about what they do. I want to read this paragraph and I want to elaborate on it.
Are you
Okay,
jumping
because I want to,
where I'm at, or are you just cutting?
this is the first half. This is the beginning where we're talking where they're talking about how the go ahead.
Because I was in the middle of making a point.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I can go back to that. I have it labeled out.
No, what I'm saying to you is that the bill is designed to enhance in national security and to support um domestic drone manufacturing. You know, because their issue is the Chinese made drones. When it comes to the Chinese made drones and first responders,
Mm-hmm.
90% of their drone equipment is Chinese made drones.
True.
You know, maybe more than 90%. So, and what the whole thing of the whole issue is that, and DJI's name comes up all the time because it is the go-to drone. It is the best drone out there. When I always say, and you always hear me use the terminology as off the shelf. You know, when you talk about off the shelf product, they have a product that you can take off the shelf and use for many different applications. That is a consumer product. So the price is affordable and it is the go-to drone. So they're the most popular drone. But go ahead and say what you were going to say, because there's
I'm getting
a lot
I
of
just
things that I want to get into with this. And go ahead.
We are. I just wanted to get this off my chest because this part of the article talks about what like you said, 90% of the drone is by first responders. All of that is correct. Okay, they're made in the People's Republic of China. And before I go on any further, we have to do a sponsor break first. So let me go here and do this.
That time already? Wow.
Yes, it's 6 o'clock. I'm trying to be on point here.
Oh, okay. Drone a day for drone pilots that are looking to scale their operation. Book your appointments, keep all your records, build your website right there on Dronadeer. If Dronadeer is something for you, Dronadeer is for you. Dronadeer is a place where you can come and, like I said, scale your operations. It also has tools to make you a more knowledgeable pilot. Jonah did. Also, to have lines where you can actually get customers that'll be booking appointments in your area. So if you think that's something for you, Jonah did is for you.
There you
Jonah,
go.
check it out.
Thank you.
The
Thank you
link
very
is in the
much.
description.
Thank you very much, sir.
But yeah,
But getting back to what I was saying, but
now,
this is a lie. I have to pull this lie out because, but at the time when this was written, this article was written, we did not, when they applied for all of this stuff, we did not have a US drone maker. It goes on to say, Communist China has aggressively subsidized direct government investment and favorable regulations to dominate the global drone market. That they China has done, whether it's communist or not. I don't know. I'm not over there. I don't live. I don't know who's doing it. Okay. And undercut US drone manufacturers. Well, if you recall, Anzu Robotics just recently started, and so did Conchigo. They've had this going on for years. So you're saying years ago DJI was undercutting drone manufacturers here in the United States? No, I don't think so. That was my point. That's where I wanted to go with that.
okay.
That's all.
Like I said, the bill, the bill seeks to do exactly what tariffs actually do. And the thing what bothers me so much about this, and the whole drones for first responders act, and like I said, they do need to get their hands on the best drones that they have. It's possible, but this drones for first responders act that is gonna impose tariffs on the drones that you purchase, the Chinese made drones, starting at say at 30% and increasing annually at 5%, which is not good for the American people's pocket. And I brought this up before, and I'm bringing it up again. You're talking about a grant program. I understand the whole grant program and where they're going with the grant program, and this talks to what I mean about the funds. These funds will that are going to come from the tariffs will go to equipment and to manufacturing for the drones for the first responders,
Right.
able to for first responders and the agricultural sector, because they're in jeopardy of the same cybersecurity thing too. And like I told you before, I was going to mention something to you about the whole cybersecurity thing, and I'll tell you after I finish talking about the things that are in this bill.
Right.
Um, you know, uh there's things that they're talking about by 2030 they want to legislate to where is that drones that are imported into them. This is what I was talking about before we had Ryan on the stream. We're talking about coming up with a standard for things.
Yes.
There is that they want by 2030 now. 2030. Wow, I don't know. What are we in? 2020, okay, 2030. They want to have legislation to where is that any drones that are imported into the country will have or must have no critical parts contained that are manufactured in China. So we're still speaking to the fact that it's country of origin, not so much of where they're manufacturing, as long as it's not manufactured in China.
Well, Barclay says, get serious. It's not about politics. It's about money and the influence it has on our politicians. As the saying goes, Washington, D.C. has the best politicians money
What?
can buy.
Well, that's the same thing, Barkley.
Yeah. Yeah.
that is the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I would have to agree with that.
but it's one and the same. You know, and I think that when you start talking about that, you know, we all would love to see drones manufactured here in the United States, but what you keep mentioning um until and what's that, Contigo?
hmm
Contigo's a Chinese company.
Yeah,
Okay. I haven't seen an American company yet
that produces drones
that produces
for the consumer.
consumer drones.
Yes, this is true. And that's why
And
coming up,
don't tell me about these other little yuckity yuck drones, because I'll refer you back to a live stream where I told you what was said about those yuckity yuck drones.
true, this is true. Um, this is what I'm talking about. When all of this was started, no one no one was producing drones here in the United States. So how was DJI undercutting it?
Well, you talk about, and I mentioned this back on those other streams, talking about this thing when it, because well, let me finish and then I'm
Yeah,
gonna
go
go,
ahead, go ahead.
because you know you're supporting the you know the domestic industry, and I'm all for that because that's what the tariffs should be. This tariff should do that. You know, for the excuse me, to support the domestic industry into production of domestic American made drones, and I'm all for that. The only problem is that the tariffs are going to be on the backs of the people who need to use these products.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And the people
Yep.
who, and just like this, and I've said this time and time again, when you listen to these people speak, they speak to you about commercial, 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 commercial,
Yep.
commercial. And then they bring the first responders in.
Right.
So when they start speaking, you got to worry about the trickle down. So keep in mind, like I said, he's just talking about commercial use and first responders and everything like that, and integration into the airspace. Well, shit, you guys been flying drones for years. You know how the airspace integrates.
Yeah,
And they
this
know
is
that you
true.
know. They know that you know. So now they're gonna use what you've taught them,
Exactly.
take it further with the knowledge that they've gathered, and
Once again, we were used as guinea pigs
so
to test out airspace, to test out technology, etc.
there was a big hearing, involved, and everybody was at this big hearing, from all over New York and otherwise. But I just look at the whole thing with this whole drone act, and like I said, I've been talking about this for a while now, and
Now people are starting to hear it.
right, and you talk about the tariffs on these drones, and everybody's talking about how much drones DJI is pumping out drones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you're talking about a tariff at what I said, 30%
Mm-hmm.
and 5% annually additional
Till
added,
it reaches 50.
right? So my thing is, you might see the turnover happen a little bit more often.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's just my theory. I don't know. You might see the turnover on these drones happen a little more often at that point.
Well, basically,
Are you
if you
talking about
once,
incremental changes?
yeah.
You'd be like the car manufacturers.
You know what it is? Right now, the drone society is at a place, the drone community is at a place where you can find something that you're comfortable flying with and
Mhm.
fly it for years. You don't have to buy. I have to register my Air 2S
NYC got
before this month is out because on the 15th of next month, 3 years is going by. I've been using my Air 2S and I still use it like I got it brand new. You understand what I'm saying, Herman?
Uh-huh.
It's on OcuSync 3. My Mavic 3 is on OcuSync 3. I don't have a mini or anything. My FP,
Um, hold on a second.
yeah.
Look, NYC guy. Yeah. That's exactly what they want you to do, so they will disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about the fact that the price will come down. You're asking somebody to change their dollar to support you not buying what is the best drone to buy just because somebody has implemented a tariff on it.
Check your chat. But it's you know what?
Mm-hmm.
We're already paying more money for things outside of this coming into the States. A
Mm-hmm.
few more taxes on something you enjoy is not going to hurt it. It's a money grab. We know this. People are still going to buy DJI. You know this, right?
Right. It's a money grab.
People are still going to buy DJI, even with the 30% increase, because they're just inferior machines. Now, with Enzu Robotics, the competition kind of balances out.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not made here in the United States. The drones are made over in Malaysia, just like Contigo drones are made in Malaysia. But what's to stop the United States from saying we don't want drones made in Malaysia either? You understand?
Okay.
And it go on and on
Well,
and
well,
on.
well, see, here's the thing. The United States, and from articles that I've read, they're well aware of drones being made in Malaysia from going back to
Holly
the
Stone.
no, going back to the Mavic, the Mavic 2.
Yeah,
Yeah. So they're well aware of that.
right.
And that's why had become a country of origin issue. Now, like I said, a lot of these things in the bill speak to good points, and a lot of them, are on the backs of us because it's like, okay, if you want to keep flying if you want to keep flying your Chinese made drones, your DJI, your Hotel Robotics, fuck you, pay me. So, you
Yeah.
know, I get it. The tariffs is going to implement. So that's why I said to you, my theory was that you might see the drones turn over a little bit more
You
faster
mean that they'll put them out
because
even
because
they'll put
that's
out even more.
right because the 5% each year,
Yeah.
the price will just keep going up on the damn product.
Hey, Frank Rizzo.
The price will just keep going up.
Right, right. I get it. I do get it. It's something that if you want to keep flying drones, either you need to be a first responder or you need to be able to pay that higher tax.
You,
But you
you
know
got
what's going to happen, Herman?
you
And
got to figure out how to use
but
that camera.
but you know what's going to happen, Herman? And we experienced this in
Yeah,
NYC 5 borough
I
before.
was talking to John. John, you got to figure out how to use that camera.
Now, so
Because there's no way you got better pictures from a smaller sensor than a larger sensor with better image quality.
and a higher bit rate.
Yeah,
Um, Lost my train of thought there.
I'm sorry.
Not to mention inflation and printed dollars makes everything cost more.
Well,
Um,
a few things.
it does, but you got to think about you. Okay, RJ, be safe, safe travels. Um,
Lawrence, I just want
Everyone's complaining about. I'm trying to word this without sounding crazy, but
you will, but it
everyone,
doesn't matter.
go ahead. Everyone's complaining about taxes, right? You know,
Uh,
taxes. We've been paying taxes for how long? They said when cigarettes were $2 and change, when the cigarette taxes go to $5, we're not going to pay it. Well, guess what? Cigarettes are $15, $20 a pack, and people are still buying them.
that's how
They're
much
still
cigarettes
paying the
cost?
tax. You're damn near 15, unless you buy bootleg. Who knows what's in that tobacco?
Wow, I didn't know.
Yeah, here in New York, it can go from
I hear the
15.
cigarette smokers complain, but I don't know. I don't buy them.
Yeah, so gold is over 24 an ounce. Silver is up to 31, 32 an ounce. A few months ago, it was only 22 and 24. this is right. Okay, but how many people do you know can invest in 2,400 on gold, and they're
Okay,
complaining about
well,
paying $1,500 for a damn drone?
I'm gonna stay on topic while you guys
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah. Go
gold
ahead.
and stuff like that over
Go
there.
ahead.
There was a big hearing where a few people in the, you know, first responders area sector, I should say. I
Yes.
don't want to say area sector.
Yeah.
Um, spoke, um, and they voiced their opinions on everything. What's his name? D. Esposito was the chairman of that thing, and there was a few other people there that spoke. I know there were people here from, well, two gentlemen from the NYPD,
Yes. Yes, there were.
uh Daughtry and Shell,
Mm-hmm.
all spoke to in the reference to the operations and needing to having the best equipment and what they do and some of the usage of the things that they've done with the equipment that they have.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Right.
And that's why when we saw the whole advertisement there, but they did the news thing, we knew that was a Skydio thing because it was a Skydio drone and all of the Skydio paraphernalia. You know, sometimes you gotta learn to wear the other guy's drawers when you put on when you put on the hot sweats. You
You
know what I
want to
mean?
show? You want to show that video from here?
Which
The,
one?
the channel 7 first.
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
You know, I just look at the whole thing with that, the whole hearing, and I was listening to the gentleman from Aerodome,
Right.
and the questioning that went back and forth, and it all came down to, and even uh Daughtry was telling them that we want to move away from the DJI equipment because, you know, Mr. Mr. Daughtry said, well, they want to move away from the DJI equipment, but basically hinted to this being the best equipment that they have right now. And some of the other equipment that is just not up to par. So the question was proposed, so what do we do until we can get that kind of equipment domestically? Because that was proposed to the gentleman from Aerodome.
Right.
Uh, honestly, from you look at body
Hey, Rob.
language and the way they answered the question, to keep using the Chinese made drones until you catch up.
True. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because you have to use the best equipment that's available. And I think that's why the bill came the way it came and it backed off of the ban.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want to keep using the stuff, then you keep using it. Because I say this, I don't want to go away from this too much because I wanted to stay on this whole little while because I mentioned I was going to say something to you about the facts of this whole cybersecurity thing. I went to renew the insurance, and the insurance broker
Yeah. This is crazy.
sent me a quote, and she called me and she said, "I know that there's a extra premium in there," and I'm like, "For what? Why? I don't understand that. I thought that's what I was paying insurance for." She goes, "No, no, no. It's to secure the data." I'm
Yep.
like, if you can prove that the data is secure and no one can is receiving the data, then they will waive that on the premium. I'm like,
So already we're feeling it in the insurance on the insurance end.
I'm totally
I
confused.
know.
Explain this to me. How?
Right.
So if somebody captures the data that I have, and I pay this, so I'm good.
Right.
I'm like, how does this affect people's safety?
I don't get it either, right? And they want you to prove that your data is secure,
And then I listened
and
to
you have to pay for it.
Daughtry. I listened to Daughtry, and Daughtry said that they capture the data on the SD card, and then it's transferred into their network, where their network is a secure network. No one else is connected to my computer.
Right.
Norton will contact me if I pee wrong. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Everything goes to the customer off the SD card. So how is it good for them, but it's not good for me?
I know. It's crazy that
I
they're
don't.
already
I'm not the
incurring them
guy.
charges into your insurance, into the insurance of the commercial drone pilots already. So
I
you
don't. I don't want to be the one to cry like a little punk and crying, because they. But that is an issue that's
if
starting
that's here
to
in New
happen,
York, I'd be
and
interested to
that's
ask
happening right
Draymond.
here in New York now.
Right, I would be interested to ask Draymond, have they started to incur charges
The
in
insurance company he put
California?
me on to.
Huh?
It's the insurance company he put me on to.
Oh shit! So they're probably doing it. Never mind. I got the answer, Draymond. I got you. I got
But
2 years off free monitoring.
but
My
but
credit.
what I got from listening to the hearing, and I listened to it a couple of times. Mr. Robbins from the president of AUBSI, he'll waffling ass waffle boy. That boy he'll go along with anything you say. And then, yeah, I believe that too. I believe that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever you say, he believe. He'll
yeah,
go on
yeah.
with it, just as they can keep on doing
Just
with.
tell them to look up while they punch you in the belly.
I don't know. I mean, but I did like some of the things that I did hear in it because they put a lot of pressure on the government. But if you look at the bill stands to 2030. These
Yeah,
government put a lot of pressure on them to say that the stuff that we're using now is getting the job done. The stuff that you
yeah,
want us to use, not so much. And when can we get stuff that'll catch up? That'll and they're asking, what do you need? And I think that hearing needs to go a little further to meet the record, to meet the point of what you need with what we're willing to give.
right.
You know, like I said, there's like bills like Arkansas that, yeah, it's a little stringent, but it gives pathways to time and waivers from
Right.
being. But I don't know, the whole cybersecurity thing is getting ugly and it's not going anywhere.
And what's being done about it? We
what
we we know. We see what's happening right here in front of our eyes.
what
Stop complaining. Stop complaining and just fly your freaking drone until someone comes up to you and says, "Sir, you can't fly here anymore." Let it go.
well, that's not the point of it. But I'll just say the
No,
whole
I get it. I
cybersecurity
get
thing
it.
has become a whole issue. And I said it's starting to trickle down into, like I said, insurance for small operators that are trying to do commercial work. And I told you they contacted me about the thing with Florida, right? And all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, the first responders.
Yeah. So
It's
that's another thing I gotta have insurance for. So all those things.
right, right.
But
Before
anyway,
before even going leaving the state, you
I
gotta have
just
insurance.
I just look at this whole thing with the whole hearing and everything. And I said, like I said, they put a lot of pressure on the government to give them the things, the tools that they need, or allow them to use the tools that they need. Because if you're not there yet, what are we going to do? And that was really the question that was proposed. We're not there yet. So what can we do? And the only answer is really to use the products that's at hand that are getting
Yeah,
it done. We talked about what Ukraine said about these drones. They were
yeah.
highly disappointed with a lot of the drones that were sent from America.
Skydio drones.
And this was not something that I said this is not something that anybody and that wrote an article. Well, they did. The guy in the article did write it and say it, but this was by the words of the gentleman, the chief over at Skydio, talked about it, and he did not exclude his drone from being one of the poorly operated drones.
Right, right.
So when we get into it, please stop. You know, they have to have the right product, the right drone in hand if they're going to use this thing to save lives. You had a lot of people there, you know, in chief operating officers for the NYPD, fire department. Like I said, companies that deal with software for first responders.
Hey, Tony.
And gentlemen who worked as a first responder. So the people were there, the right people were there that spoke, and some of the things I believe that they said put pressure on him, except for the waffler from AUB. He'll go with whatever the hell sticks to the wall.
Yeah. If you say step on that pile of shit and spin around 3 times and rub your head, they'll probably do it.
You know, but Daughtry spoke and he mentioned that there's going to be a few precincts here in New York that's going to be rolling out the drone operations.
Yes.
So here in Brooklyn and one in the Bronx, one in Manhattan at the Central Park Division.
Go ahead.
You can show that video. Eyewitness News had a whole rundown on that, and I'm quite sure some of you guys may have seen this before. But
I saw this, and I was not surprised.
Yeah, check this out.
Be the future of policing. Today, the NYPD detailed plans to use drones in coordination with officers who are responding to 911 calls. The department will roll out the technology in the near future at a handful of precincts. Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles has more on the NYPD initiative.
What a dazzling view of Central Park, a rare and glorious sight from 200 feet high, the plush treetops to the skyline, all captured by an NYPD drone.
I would love to see this drone patrol areas that the cops cannot get to, that they have to use maybe a scooter or a bicycle.
The NYPD expanding its fleet of 85 drones, now implementing a new initiative called Drones as First Responders.
I'm going to put this drone station on top of this precinct behind me.
Integrated into the 911 call system, the drones will be piloted remotely from one police plaza in the presence of a departmental attorney as a safeguard against improper surveillance. The first units being installed at 3 precincts in Brooklyn, one in the Bronx, and at the Central Park precinct.
Person shot, person stabbed, person robbed. Crimes in progress, our real serious crimes, we're going to dispatch the drones autonomously, and it's going to fly to the wherever the call may be.
The drones can get to places officers can't because they have infrared cameras, and they can do so within seconds as opposed to an officer on foot or in a car.
The great New York City Police Department, who's represented well here today, has used drones to assist with...
Now, you know, it's crazy. I'm right in between 2 of those precincts.
Right.
So if they want, call me, I'll do the intersecting left.
Right, you go up to your rooftop and relay the info. Okay, right? You go up to the rooftop. If those buildings, New York City buildings, get any skinnier, they'll just be elevator shafts, Barkley says.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. His Jims, they're not probably watching Lawrence. No, they're not. Hey, Philip, look at that. He says,
you know, it's funny.
They're not watching me because I'm not in the city often.
I'm in between those 2 precincts.
Right.
And the other one is up the street from where we were working.
Right. I know exactly what you're talking about. Herman and Lawrence told me we're picking me up from the airport, and that'll be staying with you. Who? They're staying with you when I come up for the meetup. Did he tell you yet? Who? Herman, Lawrence told me. Lawrence ain't saying nothing. You better stop starting. He trying to say somebody picking him up from the airport, and I was supposed to tell you I'm picking him up. We're picking him up from the airport to come to our meetup, and
Okay.
he's staying over by you. Now you know he made that shit up.
You know what's funny about that?
What happened?
If we were to have a major meetup here in New York, right? How would we even
Nobody would have any place to stay.
Yeah, because all of the migrants and all of the hotels.
Yeah. You couldn't stay in a hotel because
The migrants
are
the
in all of the
migrants
good hotels.
The migrants and the hookers got all of the rooms in the hotels. You wouldn't be able to get one.
You see, with takeoff, lift, and land put, we get back to the story. Skydio, unique hubs and hotel all fell short. It will be years before we feel comfortable flying a drone with the same confidence. Not true, because Anzu Robotics and Contigo.
What happened?
That's a data on technology transfer that will allow us to still fly the same machines, just under a different name. Sort of like when you went out, so those people who went out and brought that Lexus, they said, or they went out and brought a Camry and realized they had a Lexus. How is that? How does that go, Herman?
No. If you bought the 300 series and the Lexus,
you basically got an enhanced. You basically got an enhanced.
That's just a Camry with the Lexus paint job and chrome.
Oh no. Still a passenger. Do I have room for a mother-in-law?
And what
for the family, including the mother-in-law. These guys are just trying to get us to give up our space to listen. New York hotels, you can't find space because of the immigrants. You can thank our mayor for that one, but that's another story.
Well, actually, no. If you really want to get down to the girdly of it, you got to thank the guy down there in Texas. But that's not.
Yeah, that was sending them up here, right?
You know, like I said, those precincts are going to be featuring drone tech responding.
So now, does this mean when we're operating in the area,
and that
is near one of our sites where we work?
I'm curious to know how that's going to work.
Exactly.
And if I like to put my drone up and fly down the street here,
right?
And they happen to have shots fired over there down the other side, will they fly past here?
Right. Will they fly past here?
I'm in between two of those precincts.
Exactly my point. But they plan on putting these drone in a box things up on a roof. I say things because they're Skydio. I just think Skydio threw every drone company in the world, especially DJI, under the bus.
There we go.
Then to find out Skydio drones don't even work in too well in non-GPS environments.
Well, it doesn't even have to be non-GPS environment. That shit didn't work over
in Ukraine, right?
In Ukraine, it's guaranteed not to work properly. Go ahead, shoot somebody, they won't find you.
That is messed up, but
no, I'm not advocating for crime, but I'm just saying if it did, I mean, is it the hearing they told you these products aren't up to par and you're ready to roll them out to use. No, everyone did see the hearing that I'm talking about, right? So if the drones, and if they mention that these drones are not up to par, why would anybody want to roll these out for a program to be used at these precincts? In Central Park, where it could get behind a tree and then lose signal.
Yeah, I know. Hell, lose behind a tree. You remember the incident with the Mini 3 and the yellow submarine and how it landed?
I don't know what you're talking
about. How it landed behind you.
I don't know what you're talking
still waiting for it. You were still waiting for it to come back.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. So listen, they're gonna have. I want to see what these issues. You know what? They're gonna hack into they're gonna join the 5G network, Herman, and that's how these drones are gonna communicate around the city without signal loss. I think Skydio probably.
No, I get it.
We got time. We got to hit that sponsor, man.
Oh, okay.
Once again,
I understand how it's going to work. I'm just playing fool.
Here we go.
Okay. For 10% off on all Nano products, on your entire order from Nanook, use Phantom Flight 10 for 10% off. For all your needs for protection, if you need to protect it and you need a hard case for it, not even for just your drones, because they make all the hard cases for all the latest drones that come out. GPC is not the only hard case out there. Nanook's been out there for years doing it for maybe even longer. But
Yeah.
they make cases for all your needs, for gimbals, for watches,
Gun cases, watches,
firearms,
etc. Yeah.
firearms, and all kinds of things. They even customize your case for you to cut out for whatever your need is. They'll cut it out for you. Check them out. Nanook, 10% off. Phantom Flight 10. Can't go wrong.
There you go. Okay, we're good.
From backpack to hard cases.
I can stay in the Bronx, but it's a hassle taking the subway to Brooklyn, to
Who?
Herman's. They go to 42nd Street and change to the bus to his place. They're making plans to come to John. He says, I can stay in the Bronx, but it's a hassle to take the subway to Brooklyn, to Herman's. To go to 42nd Street, change, and then take the bus to his place. Nope, it's not even that close.
You got me totally confused.
He's trying to protection needs. They've broadened their offerings to a more personal requirement, Barkley says. Well, sometime in September, as we get closer, we'll work out the issues of the barbecue. Definitely. But the problem, like we said, anyone coming from outside of New York,
John,
hotels are almost an impossibility.
John, when I'm gonna speak to the people from the building, when I see them bringing in new refrigerators, I'm gonna talk to the guy about one of them boxes.
Oh, refrigerator box. What, for John?
Yeah.
To sleep in? Where is he gonna sleep? In the hallway? In a refrigerator box? You're stupid. Oh no, he said refrigerator box. Oh no, that's funny. I need a case for my airsoft M4 assault. Use the coupon code, hit up Nanook. There you go, Angel.
As soon as I see them bringing in new refrigerators, John, I'm gonna hit them up for one of the boxes. I'll fold it and everything and slide it right in the closet.
Hey, Paul.
It'll fit.
That's
Oh man.
He said a refrigerator box. Airbnb would be your best bet if you did come to New York. Honestly,
yeah, probably
you would have your own shit, but getting into a hotel, forget it. And then even if you did find a hotel, there's no guarantee that half of the hotel would have immigrants in it and half wouldn't. I'm just saying.
There is a hotel near Calvert Vaux.
I know, but it's probably filled with immigrants. Yeah, there is. On the other side where the buildings, yeah, okay.
Then
is it an expense? Oh,
what happened?
Is an expensive rifle? Then in that case, you would put it in. You would listen, Angel. Nanook will custom fit. You tell them what you have. Thanks, Ray Kelly.
Here's the deal.
Nanook, what you have. You have an M4 airsoft rifle. They will customize a case for you.
Check this out. There's a link in the description for Nanook.
Yes.
Nanook, and check them out.
Yeah.
You can also the link's there. You can
all of the above.
You can also
Barkley.
find out how to. Should be ways to contact them if necessary, and you never know. They might even do you like they did me.
That's true.
Push your phone call to the guy that is in charge of the department,
right?
So they don't have to hear it.
This is true. Okay.
No, but they're pretty easy to deal with. Pretty easy company to deal with.
Right.
And I realized that it's not so much the case that they make the money on, it's the foam cutouts.
Yes. That's the bulk of their business.
That's where the money is, the foam cutouts.
but they have cases you can put fishing poles in, all kinds, and ship them, all kinds of stuff, and they all come with that but the TSA
Yeah, you can get
TSA hole, so you can
TSA
buy a
lock.
TSA lock and take your stuff on a plane, etc. I will bring an air mattress for the mother-in-law. Philip Koshak says he's working on his mother-in-law. Is mother-in-law paying for the trip? In which case you might need the air mattress while she gets to bed in the hotel room. Can't go to New York since they don't have CC
What happened?
Barkley has
Uh-huh.
got issues.
What happened?
Reciprocal. I can't even say it. Reciprocity. Barkley says he can't come to New York. Is it you can't come to New York, Barkley, or there's someone you're hiding from here in New York?
Sound like he hiding from someone.
An old flame or something. You know.
Well, if anyone knows where those precincts are located, I'm not too familiar with the one in the Bronx.
Right.
But I know that one is an East New York precinct, one is a Flatbush precinct, and the other one's is kind of like a Crown Heights precinct. They kind of overlap those precincts. Well,
right, but my thing is like I said, Herman, if we're working at a site near one of these precincts, how does that apply if they take off? I mean, of course, we're supposed to heed way to any
well, if you're flying a DJI drone, if you go like about 6 miles out, he'll lose control of that Skydio crash. It'll return to home, and then you can come back.
Oh, Barkley says he lived for 5 years in New York. Long enough. It wasn't long enough. 5 years, man.
5 years? Oh, come on, bro.
5 years. You didn't even get to know your neighbors.
Stop. You came to New York and lived for 5 years and then left?
You didn't get to know his neighbors.
Okay, so where are you from, Barkley? Since you're not a New Yorker.
Another thing, that should be our right in all 50 states. I agree, but
what should be right in all 50 states?
Well, then you'd have to scroll back.
So where? Who? What? Who said what? What?
I don't have control of the show, Paul. I can't share anything or give permission to share. I'm just a co-host.
What?
Which Paul Regenbig was saying, may he share a photo.
Of who?
I don't know. I'm just saying that I have no capability to share unless
photo of who?
Of Jim, I guess. I've lived 45 minutes from New York for 58 years. I'm good on the fringe. You know what?
I hear you. I mean, it's not for everybody.
That is true.
I hear you.
Air 3 is Wi-Fi compatibility. The police will use that. No, the police will use New York's 5G network that they've established, which would be a lot better for communications. Barkley says he's a Chicago boy.
Okay.
Oh, sure, in the chat. I don't care. The guys can click on it that way. Sure. I don't care, Paul. It's for them to see in the chat. Drone panel. Oh, a drone panel. Before you guys are.
No, go ahead, man. I mean, I just thought it was a picture you wanted to send us to.
Yeah. Go ahead. That's not a problem to put in the chat. Yeah, because then people can.
I don't.
Hey, Joe, I'm sorry.
I don't have a problem with that. The only issue I have is those guys that, and everybody is not that guy until you see it happen. The guy that comes on, yo, I'm going live in 15 minutes. Yo, come check me out. Yo, I'm talking about remote ID.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. But I pictures and stuff like that, links to stuff that you're sharing with guys. That's what the community is about.
Right.
I don't care about that. That's why you have the blue wrench.
Well, yeah, it's you needed to give out a few more.
How many more?
Let's see. Jim's Droning's been here for a while. RJ's CT Pirate has been coming back.
All right. You know what? Since you here politicking,
Philip Koshak.
since you politicking for guys, right?
Yeah. Jim's Droning, CT, the drone guy. People that come through regularly. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I
You
don't know about that. I don't know about that Koshat, dude.
He's trying to push off his mother-in-law
Yeah, he
with
trying
an
to
air
leave.
mattress.
He's trying to leave his mother-in-law somewhere with an air mattress.
Right. And be like, we're going to
I don't trust that cat.
forget about it. They actually, Joe Fortaleo, it's funny that as you're leaving the barrels here in New York, as you're leaving Brooklyn, it says, no, welcome to Brooklyn. There's a sign going into Brooklyn, and it says, forget about it on the bottom. You leave some barrels, it says you're leaving the Bronx, and they have little sayings, but forget about it is actually on a traffic sign saying you're entering Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know what exact road it's on. I would have to do some research on that.
You know, I've seen it. I can't remember.
Oh, CT Pirate said Koshak is sketchy, I've heard.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
You're gonna make these guys, you're gonna make these guys or what? I can't do it.
What happened?
You got CT Pirate,
Who?
CT Pirate, Joe Fortaleo, the drone guy. Dan, I fixed it. He was there, but Jim's droning.
What happened? Jim's Jordan don't have a blue wrench yet. He should have.
I don't know. Type in the chat. Now he does. Yes, the drone guy 42, Joe Fortaleo, and CT Pirate.
That would be everybody.
It's on the Belt Parkway going towards Staten Island. There it is.
Who?
Yeah, it's on Belt Parkway going towards Staten Island. Yeah, you're
Okay.
now leaving Brooklyn. Forget about it.
What is this now? Oh God, no.
There we go.
Jackrabbit. You can't do that.
She's strapped to the top of the car, kind of, right? RJ. Well, RJ's area. Well, you have to be honest.
Yeah.
When you make someone a moderator, it's supposed to be in the event that someone comes into the chat and it's disrupted. The host doesn't have to worry about it because if you have a blue wrench, someone can eject them, put them on timeout, or whatever the case may be. Hey, what's good, man? Hope all is well.
That's why you and Gary and Draymond are not just standard moderators.
Right. I see. I noticed that. We have, hold on.
What?
We still have some stuff left.
I know we do. No, we do.
Hey, doing good there.
I just was saying that, and I was just caught up so much because this whole bill, and I know a lot of people are going to be talking about this bill, and I said it was coming. I told you guys it was coming. We sort of hearing, you know, the hearing went down with these gentlemen from, like I said, Daughtry, Shell from here in New York. I have trouble with the gentleman from Aerodrome. Aerodome. I have problems with his name, but
okay.
Mr. Robbins from AUVSI. Like I said, he'll go along with what's ever happening, and he even said it. He goes, the whole cybersecurity, and the Chinese made drones, it's not us that's saying it. It's you that's saying it. It's the FBI that's saying it. It's everybody else that's saying it.
Right.
So they're willing to go along with whatever is going to be said when the fallout. So if it meant that a country was invading us and whatever language we were going to speak, AUVSI, as long as we can still be here,
Right.
we'll speak whatever language is the language. But I did like the pressure that they put on them with the words that they spoke to him, because gentlemen, the chairman's main thing was getting away from the Chinese made drones. And they basically laid it out in the hearing is that they're not ready to get away from the Chinese made drones. They want to, because you say we have to, but we really can't.
Right.
You know, that's what I took from the hearing. You know, and the fact that Daughtry also spoke to the fact that the rollout of these precincts here in New York that's going to be doing this pretty soon with the drones that they're scared to fly.
Yeah.
And I don't know about anybody else. I don't know how that's going to work. I just want to know what everybody else in the community thinks. You know, that's why I bring these stories and I share these stories. But what I noticed now, there was supposedly a new spotlight, Lawrence, for the Mavic 3 and Enterprise. That's what is it? Tundra Drones?
Yes, Tundra Drones is the company that
they have this new spotlight.
There we go.
That's that's for the what is it? The Matrix 10 the Matrix 10 spotlight. It's for the Mavic 3 Enterprise Edition with 10,000 lumens. It has it's in between an average of 12 to 1360 watt bulbs. Really?
It's supposed to be bright as hell.
I thought it was just 2 little bulbs in that thing, or 3.
No, they're actually 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are actually 4 bulbs in here, and depending on your configuration will dictate how many are on and stuff like that.
According to them, it has the illuminance of 12 to 13 60-watt bulbs.
That's pretty damn good. You can land a plane, a ship, buy it.
And what's funny is that it's not only powered by the drones powered.
Yes.
It also has an external battery also. So that's pretty good. Nice little
thank you, Scott. Thank you. We appreciate you guys for coming.
Thank you, Scott.
Live stream and keeping us here.
Yeah, that's why we show up every week, to share with you guys, man, to hang out with you guys and talk this drone talk. But I really would like to know what guys believe or what they think with this thing, with this just Drones for First Responders Act, because the bill really covered, their ass is really covered until 2030. And they're just gonna siphon money out of us until that time. If we want to keep flying the DJI drones and your Autel robotics drones, keep flying them. But the tariffs on each of them, is going to be a 30% and a 5% increase each additional year of the product. That's why I said to Lawrence, I said, you might start seeing the turnover coming a little quicker.
You think they're pushing drones now? Wait till that tax.
Because I don't know if we can absorb that. The whole point of it is to make these drones unattractive to American users and purchasers, so is that you go and buy something else, because the price on them is going to start catching up to the price. Well, I don't think they could at that point.
They can't, but until we have a U.S. consumer drone company, which we do not have. Don't get it twisted.
We actually, that's what'd you say about the sign on the Belt Parkway?
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Okay.
That's not happening, bro. It's not happening. Like I said, and I said this before, I said it in a comment that was on one of the guys started a comment or started a thing there on LinkedIn, and I told him, I said every municipality throughout from coast to coast in this country is coming up with some type of ordinance or law to stop you from flying your drone, whether it's land use or some other nonsense or some aerial trespass nonsense. Everyone's coming up with something.
Well, you know what's going to
Understand?
happen. Thanks, John, for coming in. But you know what's going to happen, Herman?
All right, John, man.
We've had it happen
Let's see, bro.
already before remote ID and all this happened. If you recall, in NYC 5 borough, we had a group member that had connections to China. And when the Mavic Pro came out, he had a direct version from China shipped here with Chinese writing and everything on it before. So who's to stop people from setting up someone over or something over in China and shipping them here to people anyway? They're going to keep coming to the United States. That's my point, though.
It won't work, bro.
You don't think so?
It won't work. But
you don't think so?
No, it won't work.
Well, it's a bait and switch bill. Draymond says it's a bait and switch bill trying to make it sound good, but it takes away the best products out of the hands of people, first responders and other agencies. Correct.
You're absolutely right, Draymond. And that's what I speak to. It's like you coming up, you're saying you can't use that, but use this until we can find something that we can get till we can get it better. But everybody else that we don't want to fly in our airspace will continue to buy those drones, and we can use the money that we get from them to build the drones and get those technologies up to where we want them to be, so you can have the best drone that you need to be by 2030.
After the DJI ban, looks like a drive to Canada to fly, right? Could you imagine? All of a sudden, all
what I'm saying to you? And you're absolutely right, Draymond. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. And one of these days, somebody will call it on what it is.
Well, you guys need to check this video out. It's a little lengthy. If you want to know in more detail what Herman and I have been talking about, this is the video to watch. It's a 2-hour video.
Oh, so okay. With the hearing,
yes, with the hearing.
What I wanted to say, not to cut you off, but Vic Moss, right? He wrote an article on this, and I got a lot of information from Vic on the bill as well, because it's funny. I actually reached out to Vic, and that's how I met him. And anytime I reach out to Vic, he's always been there to help me with some information that I needed. Just like Ryan, anytime I reach out to these guys, they're right there with information to help me out.
Right.
I really appreciate those two guys. He has an article. I sent you the article.
No,
I didn't send you that article.
No.
I thought
you mentioned it. You mentioned it to me, but you never
sent it. Where I sent that article to you? I know I sent that article.
I take the fifth.
No, I sent that article to you. You probably did what you did with everything else, and probably just whatever, and kept on moving.
Well, 2 hours is not too long. Play it. No, you guys. You know what?
2 hours.
You know what's going to happen, Scott? I put the video there. People will watch it for the first 2 minutes and realize, hey, these guys are just talking about drones. I'm not watching this. But it is right. It's a good listen. And we have representatives from New York City Police Department in that video. You know what I'm saying?
I sent it to you, Lawrence.
Okay. I take the fifth.
I sent it to you.
Herman, it's that time.
But I sent you the article, though.
Okay. I'll have to go back.
Get the article.
ACT Pirate.
And share it in the chat. Okay. So that way they can see Vic Moss' article on the subject.
Hold on. Let me see real quick. Come on, Facebook.
I know I sent you that article.
Herman, there it is. Got it right here. Here, you guys. Yes, you did. I did read this.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, I did read that. Here, guys, check this out. Check that article out. Also, this is a good watch because if it's happening here in New York City, guess what?
It can
Coming to a
happen where
state
you
near
want to.
you. And with that,
We out of here?
Wednesday Night with Those Guys is sponsored by Those Guys.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Good night, everyone.
Ronnie said we have to pass a bill to see what's in it.
See you later. Yeah, you know.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for the support.